Emily.
Hello.
How are you, darling?
Good. How are you?
You are very tech savvy because you and I never have a challenge getting on.
Well, I feel like the last time it was hard for me, but this time it just said incoming call, so all I did was press accept.
Right. And I think that's the beauty of actually logging into your Gmail address.
Right.
And so what I'm hoping is that everyone else has a Gmail. That's why I specifically had said log into your Gmail, because I've been sending them to like whatever email they gave me, such as like the Warhawks account or their personal account. So they should have the access as well. But I thought we'd go ahead and get on early and it happens. So I'm going to let them know. Okay, so you're the one that said you hadn't. Here comes Amanda. Hi, Amanda.
Hi.
Here comes. I see the hat, but I can't see the hat and the glasses. I'm not. Oh, that's Amanda. She went. Okay, so you went stealth on us.
I don't know what I did.
What you did was you took your up at the top, the controls at the very top of your screen. You changed it to where you. I think it says. What's it say at the top of yours? Here it is. Turn camera off is what you did. There you are. You're back. Okay. Summer and Lauren. Did you, Amanda, did you log in through your Gmail account? So you just got to accept a call?
I get mine through my Yahoo.
So yours went to
through my Yahoo.
Okay. Oh, goodness gracious. I think we're going to have some on-the-job training at the next teleconference to teach people how to do this, because they should be well aware how to do this by now.
I've never used this before this class.
You have. Well, but look at, you went in, did you watch the video?
What video?
Who walked you through the process?
Oh, no, I never watched that.
No. I think that's what some of the, Amanda, I just received a text from you.
Oh, like from earlier?
It just came in, said, I got it.
Okay.
I'm going to put I have both Emily and Amanda online. Yes, did you log in via your Gmail account? This is one of the issues that was discussed when we were pulled into a meeting after our meeting. Was that Gmail. I had my observation today, so you can tell the no makeup look and the We have a new girl that's joining us. Amanda, can you text Heather and try to walk her through it? Because she's saying, I'm not sure I understand what I need to do. Or maybe you can call her, and I'll try to get a hold of Carly. Okay, so Summer says she doesn't have it, so let me see. Re-invite them.
Mine, though, I mean, you just click on the link, and it takes you directly to the page, and then you just accept the call. I don't know.
Somebody just said, I can see. Okay. Carly just said she can see you. She doesn't know how to join us. It doesn't make sense.
It says at the bottom, though, or it says at the bottom of mine, join. And so when you click on that, it all comes up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I wonder how she can. Let's try this again. Okay. Here comes someone. Oh, I thought someone was. I thought for sure this would be much better to go.
Amanda, how's school going?
It's going. I've only been observed one time, though, from the university supervisor. So I'm not sure if that's a good thing, or because I think everybody else has pretty much had 2.
Yeah. We were having our 3rd one this week.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Is Glenda Redden your observer? No.
I have Miss Lena Corin.
Uh,
She had said she was coming this week, but we never heard anything, or I never heard anything from her. So
I know Glenda was trying to get them all out of the way by like Thanksgiving. But they have until the end of the semester, right?
Yes. But that's typically what they do because it's easier because they know that it's going to affect your scheduling and everything. So they really, Miss Redden really does try to work around your account. I'm sorry, around your schedule. Carly. I'm going to mute this so you guys can continue to talk. I'm going to mute this while I give a call out to her. Are you talking to Heather right now, Amanda?
I haven't heard back from her. We had talked earlier this afternoon because we weren't sure if we were still having it tonight. But she hasn't texted me back lately.
Okay, Carly's joining us now. There's Carly.
Hi.
Are you talking to Heather right now, Amanda?
I haven't heard back from her. We had talked earlier this afternoon because we weren't sure if we were still having it tonight. But she hasn't texted me back lately.
Oh, Carly, I just sent you a text that was intended to go to. There's Carly. Are you talking to Heather right now, Amanda? Whoops.
Heather said she can't get hers to work.
Can you girls hear me? Okay. Carly,
Yeah.
Emily, Amanda, this is Carly. She's joining our group. She's typically in our PLC. She was one of the ones that was one of the distance students last in our group, our after seminar conference, and she was in the group she was being broadcast. We were being broadcasted to her. Would you just introduce yourselves to her real quick while I go to mute and figure out what's going on with Lauren and Summer?
Sure. Hi, Carly. I'm Emily.
Thanks, girls.
Hi.
And I'm Amanda.
Nice to finally meet y'all.
It's nice to meet you. What grade are you teaching?
I teach elementary science lab is what I teach right now. So I teach grades pre-K 4 through 6.
Wow.
I know. Sorry if you can hear me. I'm kind of sick.
Uh-oh. Where do
Yeah.
you live?
I live in Oak Grove. Yeah. So it's a little over 60 miles for me to travel to Monroe.
I gotcha.
I teach in Bastrop, so it's like I travel 30 minutes, at least an hour, both ways every day. So
Yeah, me and 2 of the other girls travel like 45 minutes to Columbia and 45 minutes back every day.
wow, I couldn't.
Pretty rough.
Yeah, I mean, I understand. I hate it.
Mhm.
What grades do y'all teach?
I teach first.
I teach 4th grade reading and 5th grade reading and English language arts.
Oh, what schools are y'all at?
I'm at Grayson.
I teach at Family Community Christian School in Winsboro.
Okay, yeah.
Do y'all have a 4-day work week in Bastrop?
I think Bastrop High does. I teach at Prairie View, and they don't. We go all day or every day. So yeah, it's really laid back there. It's a lot different. It's a private school, so it's a lot different than public. But
Nice. Hi, Lauren.
Hey guys, I gotta figure out how to change this camera to where you can see me. Now you see all my dirty stuff, sorry.
Teresa, you know that you're muted. I see your mouth moving, but you're muted.
Oh, that is too funny. You can see my mouth. Isn't that a politician? I see your mouth moving. I'm inviting.
It looked like you were saying something really important.
No, I'm teasing. I'm good now. I'm gonna. I was just introducing Carly to Lauren, and I'm gonna give Heather one last shot, and then we're gonna go ahead and get started. So I'm gonna mute one more time, then we'll be ready to go. Okay. You know what I think I figured out is when I select your names, sometimes it'll come up with your pictures, and I select the one that has your picture. It only gives me one option. But when I specifically key in your Gmail account, then it does not pull up one of the addresses with a picture. So even though you're in the system, and I think I'm selecting the Google one, it's not selecting that. So I'm going to save all of these Google Gmail addresses, even though you can go in through warhawks.com or yahoo.com. I'm going to keep these addresses because once I send each of you the individual invite, everyone popped right up. So I think we're going to do that. So I just sent it to Heather. We've got Lauren. We have Summer. Everyone else is on here right now. Lauren, did you figure out how to work your camera?
I'm trying. Oh, man.
I'm
Googling. You'd think that Google Hangout would tell you the answers, but they don't.
What is it? A camera? Is it a computer specific?
Yes. It is.
I wonder if you have to go to camera. I don't know. You
It
know what?
wouldn't let me open my camera since I'm using it here. So maybe I'm going to turn my camera off for just a half second and see if I can fix it.
Oh, that's fine. Okay, what we're recommending that we do, and I had not recommended this to you before, was that when we're online, everybody mute. So that as I'm talking, go ahead and you'll be muted, and they say that decreases the feedback. Can you hear me now? Wow, I get absolutely no feedback. How about you guys? Great. Okay. Also, when you want to speak, just go ahead, please. Don't let me sit here and look at myself because right now I can see myself. And continue to talk. Please join in to the conversation. And although this may seem a little stifling, am I delayed to you at all, or is it a direct feed? Thumbs up if you're if I'm delayed. Thumbs down if it's a direct feed. Great. Okay. I'm actually broadcasting from my classroom today. I had my observation today, and I am so excited that it is over, as I imagine you guys are every time you have your university advisor come by. Have any of you been observed by your principal yet? Okay, so Amanda has. Lauren, I have no visual in her. So
Lauren's been observed by her curriculum coordinator twice.
Is that right? That's fabulous.
We actually don't get observed by our principal, Dr. Rice. He used to teach at ULM. He actually comes in. They pay him to come in and do observations, and so I've had 3 with him already.
Wow. Have you found those observations, although a little stressful, do you find them really beneficial?
He is amazing. He actually wrote one of the books that is required for your plus 30 with masters. He wrote the peanut butter and jelly book, and he has helped me in such an incredible way. He's just phenomenal. Matter of fact, he'll come in a lot of times when he's not doing a formal observation and just come in my room to, you know, give me pointers, and he leaves me little notes and stuff. So he, I had an in with him. We had a mutual friend, so it's been wonderful.
You know, as stressful as it may seem being observed, I got to tell you, the feedback, every single time I'm observed, the feedback is so beneficial. And I don't know about you, but I'm assuming it is such because it sounds like that gentleman is very forthcoming with his but his comments and his suggestions. You know, I have not had anybody, any principal or any curriculum advisor that has not been positive in their criticism, and so that's been good for me. But I got to tell you, after enduring the actual observation and sitting back and going through it, I always think, wow, I can do this better now, and I can do that better now. And so I think that's one thing that this program is really good with, is having you submit your follow-up once you do your reflections. Are they still having you submit reflections after your observation? Carly, do you know what we're talking about? Okay, go ahead and unmute.
Okay.
Are you have you been observed yet?
Yes, once.
Okay, after your observation and they give you your feedback, it used to be, and you guys correct me if you're not experiencing this still, it used to be that you had a reflection that you were required to complete. There's Heather. Hi, Heather. So glad you could join us, dear.
Me too.
So have you guys, who has Miss Redden in this group? I think almost all of you do. Okay, have you guys filled out a reflection to provide to Miss Redden?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. You have not, Emily? Okay. So Carly, maybe we need to follow up with her. If it looks like at least 3 of the 6 girls that are on here have had to do it. So it looks like maybe it's a requirement at maybe your second observation, or have you guys done one on every observation?
Maybe I'm confused, but we had to do the reflections for the seminar. That's what I was talking about. I may have misunderstood the question.
Okay. In your lesson plan, there's a section that says reflections.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
yes,
I haven't done that. In the lesson plan, I have not done. In the reflection in the lesson plan, I haven't done that. Because she didn't ask for that. Unless, if she did, I didn't catch that.
Yeah, it's a clear section in your lesson plan that once you've completed your lesson plan, your observation's over, you go back and basically it's like a lessons learned.
Okay.
Okay.
She doesn't make me write it out, but we do talk about it.
Yeah, we did. We talked about it. I didn't write anything in it, but we discussed.
Because let me clarify that, because your lesson plans will ultimately be posted into your portfolio,
Okay.
and they have to be your completed lesson plans. The ones that you send her, as once you guys have completed that lesson plan, she's not asking you to modify anything at all, and that's the one that you're going to use to submit to your portfolio. And that reflection section, then I would think, or at least maybe I was just I am a AAA personality, but maybe I was overkilling it. That reflection section, I believe, has to be completed.
She told me that I needed to complete it, but she didn't check back for it or anything. And it's in my binder completed, and that's all she wanted. So now I have misread, and I think everybody else does too, right?
Okay, so that
she
sounds.
Did say that.
Go ahead. Somebody else just was talking.
I was saying she did say that. She said to complete it, but she wasn't going to necessarily check it right now, like the next time she comes or anything. She just wanted us to do it for our own benefit, is what she told me.
Right. Okay. And I believe it's a requirement in your it's not a contract, but in your student handbook. I believe that's part of the completion of your lesson plans. So if I have 3 that are doing it and 3 that are not certain of it as a requirement, how about I contact them and find out? Or quite honestly, maybe you guys might want to shoot her, the 3 who have not done it. You might want to shoot her an email, say, listen, we just finished the PLC with Mrs. Ross, and she had mentioned completing the reflection section, and that was a requirement. How do you want me to proceed doing that? Does that sound okay? Mm-hmm. So I will put that down to remind myself as well. Okay. Well, that reflection section I actually found very beneficial, because that's where I would, after we had our observation, That's where I would go in and address any area that she identified if she did a weakness. If she didn't identify any areas as a weakness, and I don't have to state what I would do to correct that weakness, then I would just do a real brief paragraph on how I thought the lesson went. I would put a couple sentences about what I thought the strengths of my lesson were, and I would put a couple of areas where I felt, not necessarily it was a weakness, but areas that I felt that I could improve upon. And it was just a short paragraph, and it afforded me the opportunity to look over what I was doing and what I thought went well, and then maybe look at her feedback and see what did she think went well. Because every time you do something, every day that you talk to someone, you're going to learn something new, especially in teaching. And so, Carly, I would recommend that you follow up with her on that. Okay. Any questions that are burning with you in regards to an issue that you had since we've been in the conference at school that you think that you could use some feedback from your group on? All right, Emily, your nails look beautiful. Okay, so it sounds as if your classroom management is working well. I would like to, so obviously, Lauren, you were able to figure out how to turn your camera around. Can you unmute for a second? Did you actually have to go to the camera portion of your computer? You're muted. I can't hear you. Summer, try unmuting your microphone and make sure it's not my speakers.
Can y'all hear me?
I can hear you, but
I couldn't hear Lauren.
It's my connection.
There you go.
Yeah, I did. I went to my settings up here. I did Google it, and Google told me what to do. You go to your settings, and then it says your camera settings, and then there's a drop down for it.
Okay, so I have mic, camera.
Camera.
I guess mine doesn't turn around. It's not an Apple. Because when I do my drop down, all it says is true. Okay, so since mine isn't an Apple, cancel this. We're going to walk around with my camera around the classroom, and I actually have my PowerPoint that I used for my observation today, and I thought maybe you might find it interesting. And so what I would like to do is share my screen with my, cancel that. Let's see if I can do it this way. Wow, now that's the third dimension. Okay, we are stopping that. I'm back. What I was wanting to do is to pull up my PowerPoint. I'm going to minimize. Just one second. We're still here. It's pulling up. Okay, now I'm going to try to share the screen, and let's see if it works. If it doesn't, then I'm going to need to get my own OJT, on-the-job training going on. You go ahead and share the content on your screen. We'll go choose what you'd like to share. Okay, so it's not going to work. I will get my PowerPoint presentation, and I will just show you my paper view. Today, when we had the presentation, what I found with myself when I had observations, sometimes I just get a little nervous. And I find that as I continue to do the presentation, I think, oh, I got to be sure and say this. I have to be sure and say that. I have to be sure and say these different things. So I found it was most beneficial for me to actually create a PowerPoint presentation that walked me through my observation. Everybody's hearing me okay? Okay. Let me see if you can see these. Let me take it out of it. Our group, we're working on social studies, and our group is you still see me? Okay. We're working on the rising empires, the Incas, the Aztecs, and the Mayas. Okay. So when I did my PowerPoint, you really can't see it very well, can you? Okay, what I'll end up doing is sending it to you. But when I did my PowerPoint, the first thing I did was I set the standards. So my first slide was my cover slide, what I was going to discuss in the class. My second slide was the standards. One of the things that we've done in our classroom is our school is requiring the teachers to do is to have your standards laminated and not laminated necessarily, but in I can statements. Remember I spoke to you about it the other day when we were there at the conference, at the seminar, but I didn't show you mine, right? Or did I bring them with me? No? Okay. Okay, so these are I can statements for reading. I have these in reading, in social studies, and in ELA, language arts. And they have down here, it has your, this one happens to be reading information, and it says, I can determine the main ideas and explain how they are, it's backwards to me because it's reversed, how they are supported by key details, then summarize the text. And at the beginning of each of our lesson, we actually introduce the standard to the student before we actually start our lesson. Now, I know we spoke to that, but does this help seeing it? Does this help give you a better idea of what our school is doing? Do you think this would help you at all? Keep yourself on track? Okay. So that's the first thing I do in my observation. So did you have your standards set for Miss Redden when she came in? Everybody did? Okay. So then that sounds like we talked about that, so that I just wanted to make sure I showed you what I was talking about during the actual seminar. Then I just have, this happens to be the timeline because the first standard is a timeline. Then I actually put, like we talked about, this says yesterday what I did. Under this question mark, this is actually an animated question mark that when I click it, it'll fade away and it'll say today we're going to do this, because I don't want them to read what we're going to do today when I'm still talking and doing a quick review under what we did yesterday. Then I go ahead and do tomorrow what we're going to do, and I just entered it briefly, let them know what we're going to talk about tomorrow. And then I have my vocabulary words, then I go into my PowerPoint presentations. And those are some of the standards that I actually set, so I can set my tone when I'm starting my observation and when the kids are in class, because they know exactly what we're going to be doing at each step. Some of the really neat activities that we did this time was, you'll see it when I send it to you. There was one activity that was new to me that I had not done before, and I'm going to tell you it was the best closing/opening that I've used in a long time. And what it was, it's called Post-it Consensus. and I have these huge Post-its. Now, they're not the big ones that hang on the wall, but they're the kind of the square size. They're called big pads, and they're this size. And it's called Post-it Consensus. So after we've completed the lesson for that day, what we'll do is each group leader will get a Post-it, and they'll put it, because my desks are set up in groups. My class is set up in groups. So I have 4 desks, and they're, you know, facing each other. And so in the middle, they put their Post-it. And then the group leader draws a big circle on the outside, the exterior portion. And then they draw like a donut. It's almost like a donut, and then a smaller circle in the middle. And they break the, actually, I have one right here. Okay, and then they break the, so you can see here, this is for 4 people, so they put a line there, a line here, so that they divided the circle into 4 sections. Each student wrote in their own pen color. You there, Heather?
I'm back.
Okay. Each student had their own different color pen. Trying to get it too close, but don't want it to be blurry on you. So you can see one had a green pen, one had a red pen, one had a blue pen, and the other one had a, I think it's black. Yeah. And so what they did, they each wrote in 2 minutes everything that they could remember about what the lesson was. Today it was the Aztecs. So they had 2 minutes to write everything down, basically brainstorm for 2 minutes about everything that we talked about the Aztecs for today in our lesson. Then once those 2 minutes were up, they put their pens down. Then the group leader said one item that she had listed in her block. If any of the other 3 group members had that in their block, they put a line through it. So it eliminated redundancies. So then the second group member said one of their points. Again, if anyone in the group already had that point, they put a line through it. And they did that until all of their points that they had listed were eliminated. If there were, obviously, because we're all going to remember different things, so if there was one group member had a couple things left that nobody else had thought of, then they would go ahead, agree as a group to add it to the center. If it was a concept that was applicable to this group. However, if somebody had the wrong thing, the group would tell him why it was wrong, so that it would validate what they remembered. They would have a small group discussion about it, and this is over a 3-minute period. They do it quickly. It's not a long, drawn-out discussion. And then once that 3-minute timer's done, the speaker of the group, which is mine, is group number 2, member number 2, actually becomes the presenter. And they take this sticky, and they can go anywhere in the room and stick it on the wall, and then the group goes to wherever the wall is, and then the presenter, everybody's lined up in their groups, and then the presenter presents the group. The way that I decide which presenter presents is I have a container of popsicle sticks that I've had my daughter. I have 2 different classes. That's the Ross class, and it's the Taylor class, but it's Sterlington Elementary. So what I'll do is I'll go and I will just randomly draw sticks. Because they're 2 different colors, because they're 2 different classes. That way I don't get them confused. But I just draw their stick, and this would be Mason, and whoever's group Mason is in, that presenter starts the presentations. And then we do the same thing. I draw 3 sticks. 3 different groups present. They only get 2 minutes at the max. Typically, they're done by a minute. But I teach them speaking skills. You know, I tell them you can't stand there. What one of my groups did today is he was standing here looking at this. They use symbols for math. Well, I can't hear from the back of your head. So we also had an opportunity to speak about speaking and listening skills. You know, one person was reading down like this, so their voice wasn't being projected. Again, that's another thing for the 5th grade, that in class that is applicable to my grade. Maybe not necessarily to the lower grade, such as Emily's, you know, when you have the little itty bitty ones. But that was one really neat group activity that got the kids out of their seat. It got them to be a student-led discussion, because that's the biggest thing they're going to be looking at when you're having your observation, is, are your students leading the discussion? You are not to be up standing in front of your smart board making your presentation. The students are to be leading the discussion. Does that sound like an activity that would be beneficial to maybe the older class? And you could even, Emily, come up with something that you could do for the lower grades. How about a little bit of feedback? What do you guys think? Summer?
I like that idea because even in third grade, they're kind of young, but they do need that. We played a game today where it was the heads down, thumbs up.
Mm-hmm.
It was the only thing I could think of, and none of the kids guessed who did their thumb, you know. And so when you didn't guess, you had to tell us something from the science lesson, and it was so much fun for them, and they all remembered everything we learned. And so I really like that.
Yes. That is the beauty of it, is because they can sit and tell you everything.
Yes, and they know, they just don't have a chance to do it, and so they come up with that game that's what they wanted to play. I said, we're going to play a game, but I need you to help me know what we can play. And so they were able to kind of speak, and I think that would be really good for them if I could try to do something like that for them, because they love working in groups too. So.
Absolutely. You know, and what I call this, it's Post-it consensus time. Mm-hmm. All of you, the group leader, please go get your Post-it. I want everybody to pull their pens out. Now, you know, we make it a game. You know, it's something that's fast. It's not something, okay, go get your Post-it note. We're going to do this. No, it is like, okay, you have 30 seconds to get your Post-it note. One person get the pens while the other person's getting the Post-it note. You know, that's a lot of things we do. Amanda, go ahead. You got something?
Where do you get this at? Like at Home Depot, not Home Depot, but Office Supply or something like that?
I got this at Family Dollar. There are 30 of them. They come in different colors. They come in hot pink and yellow as well. And they were $5.38.
Okay. That's awesome.
Now, we get an art supply, whereas I know some of you don't get money. But you know what you could do is take a piece of construction paper, is that me? Oh, I'm moving too much. I talk with my hands. Get some construction paper, put a white piece of computer paper over it, and then they can draw just something hard. I guess you don't even need, you could just tape down a white piece of computer paper. Take 2 pieces, tape it down on the desks. You know, it doesn't have to be that. We get money for our class. So I just, you know, when we go, because we have a Walmart card that's tax-free, it's tax deductible, so we can just take that and go buy things, and they'll just take it out of our account. But it doesn't have to be sticky fancy like that. You can make it sticky with tape and, you know, use computer paper and let them use different color markers. Emily? You don't have to take yourself off mute because we find you off mute.
What?
You don't have to put yourself on mute since we found you off mute.
Oh, was that off mute?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what? Okay, well, I'll speak. I don't care. So I think that this could be a good idea. I would definitely have to change it up a little bit because first grade is so difficult, and trying to get them to do even partner work, like they just play a lot, you know, and if they don't get with the partner they want, they get pretty mad. But I definitely think that I could use this to formulate something that would be good for that grade.
Absolutely. One of the things that they were talking in our group, we have had group training. We get, honestly, pretty frequent group training. And we had one last Monday, and they were talking about Common Core writing and starting to implement RACE, which is where you restate your question, you answer the question, you cite evidence, and then you expand it. And the lower grades were like, well, they don't restate because we don't write. They don't know their letters or anything yet. And what the curriculum coordinator said was they can still restate questions. When you ask them, okay, what color is this? They can answer it. The color of that paper is green. Instead of just saying green, you know, that is the beginning for you to establish and set a routine for them to get familiar with restating the question as part of their answer. Would that help? Yeah. I also had another cool, that was posted consensus. I also had another really neat activity that, do you guys use exit tickets? Have we talked about exit tickets? Thumbs up if we've talked about them, thumbs down if we haven't. Okay, we have not. At the end of each class, what I've done with my exit ticket is I post a question, and you'll see them in here. I post a question, and it's either, you know, like this one happened to be, describe 2 ways that the Aztecs created more land for farming. Okay, and so they had to write down 2 ways. They just had to list 2 things. Well, then on the back of that that index card they had to write a question for tomorrow's review. So it's just a regular index card. Their name goes on it, obviously, and I have caddies at each of the groups. This is show and tell for me, I guess. I have these caddies at each of my group tables. Hopefully it won't all fall out. Okay. Staples, for 5th grade, I need a stapler because they're constantly coming up here, and I've already gone through, since spring of last year, I've gone through 2 really expensive staplers. So now they get the $3 one in their caddy. I have a question mark sign because a lot of them will raise their hand that they want to share something, but if I'm in the middle of talking, I'm going to say hands down. And so that this tells me that they have a question that's pertinent to their learning right now. This is what I use in my class. Can you see it?
That's my #1 problem, is getting the kids to raise their hand about a valuable question to what I'm saying. They always want to answer something, but if they actually have a question, I can't ever tell who has a real question and who is just wanting to talk.
I can send you this beautiful template that what I did. You know what I did? I found a really cool one on the internet, and I downloaded it. I printed it out on cardstock, and I laminated it because I got a really inexpensive laminator at Walmart for like $30, and then hot glued it to a popsicle stick.
Perfect.
And there's one in each cubby. They know the rules of this question. You only use this if you have a question that's pertinent to the current topic we're discussing. Not social studies, not if you want to throw away your trash, because you're going to get conduct mark for asking me anything that's not pertinent to the subject. Okay? So I'll be more than happy to send this to you. And honestly, it was so wicked easy. Of course, then I cut it out. But I do that while I'm watching TV. And then this one is a thumbs up. And I have the red one. I have a red one that has a thumbs down. So if they're not understanding, or like instead of me telling you thumbs up, thumbs down, I should have been using my little guys. There's my thumbs down, dude. Okay? So they have one of these in each of their cubbies. But that wasn't why I went to but I went to show you my cubby, because what were you going to be talking about? Oh, exit cards. Okay. So here is one of the students' responses to the exit card. What they said was, the Aztecs, oh goodness, I don't have my glasses, guys, and it's dark in here. Well, just let me tell you that these are very good responses. And then on the back, they wrote their question for tomorrow. So what we'll do, tomorrow we'll review their response to their exit card to make sure that they've known that information. That's the first part of the review. And the second part of the review, which a review is only 3 to 5 minutes, the second part of the review is I randomly pull sticks and I'll ask them to read their question. And that way I know what their question is. I can focus on, if all of them ask about the pyramids, then I'll say, okay, they got the pyramids, but what did they not get about this particular topic? That really was a key point that nobody seemed to touch on. Okay, so these are exit tickets. And what it looks like on my video is quite simply, it's a ticket that I put on there in the PowerPoint. This moves. It's animated. So once you click on it, it'll go away and it has your answer. So that way it's quick, it's easy, and you don't have to worry about spending time saying, what did you say? What did you say? I didn't hear, I didn't get it all written down, or whatever the case may be. That's one of the main reasons I've gone to PowerPoints, is because it'll sit up there even when I walk away. Because if I use my smartboard to do a lot other than just quick note-taking, then I go to erase it, and they're going to say, oh, I didn't get that. I find that a challenge as well, because they just don't listen as well as I'd like them to. Any questions so far on either of those ideas? Okay. I'm going to do one last one for tonight that I used that I thought was really beneficial. Do you guys are you required to have differentiated instruction in your lesson plan? No? I thought it was a requirement. Okay, it used to be on our lesson plans, there was a section that said differentiated instruction. Okay, that's where you have your below level, and you have your on level, and then you have your challenge or your enrichment section. Do you not have a reteach section maybe, or an enrichment section in your lesson plan?
We do. It's called early finishers and remediation.
It's called early finishers and remediation?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. In my lesson plan, I actually, because we go into small groups, I actually do differentiated instruction within the small group as well. So we have what you're looking at is more broad-based in that it's additional information in case the person finishes early. So really, your differentiated instruction is focused on the lower level, the people that are below level. And that's really, when you're looking at your metrics for your LEAP scores and your testing, those are your hot ticket kids. Those bubble kids are the ones that the principal is going to want you to focus on the most in order to get the kids that are either unsatisfactory or below or approaching basic. The big point winner for the school is to get those individuals to basic. Not so much a focus on growing them from basic to mastery or mastery to advanced, although that is just as critical. You're going to see the majority of your focus is going to be on your lower kids who require really lower level, same content, just taught in a different way. And we can talk about that more if somebody feels the need. We can address it at the next seminar, because I know we're going to have a whole section on differentiated instruction as well. What I did for differentiated instruction was I created a Venn diagram. And I thought I had it right here, but it's not. And the Venn diagram, because we're doing three different empires, the Venn diagram was relatively easy for me. And then I came up with 16 different items that related in one way or another to one of the empires. But several of them related to 2 empires. One related to all 3 empires. And then they were given a task respective to those who were on level, those who didn't quite get it last time and were below level but were learning new content, and those that actually already knew yesterday's and today's content, so I kind of stretched them for tomorrow's content. So their job on this task was to identify, where are they? I'm sorry, guys. It's hard to talk and look at the same time. It wasn't Aztec Math. I should have had this better organized. Okay. It was titled, it was in our journaling. I do interactive journals. We make interactive journals because, quite honestly, that's a really great opportunity to keep all their data in one location. I think I showed you guys my journal, didn't I, at the last? Okay. So this one was during our journal time, which was another activity I did, and you're not really going to be able to see this, so you'll look at it better. But under journal time, you can't see the colors, but right up here, I differentiated their instruction. If you can see at the, where's my finger? Right here. It shows yellow and red, they had a certain task to do, green had a task to do, and then blue had a task to do. So I was able to differentiate within my group, which I've already differentiated within in my small groups, which I've already differentiated within my whole group. Okay? Does that make sense? So differentiated instruction can be handled many different ways. For your ULM plan, you're just going to address it as you did, Lauren, as you said, enrichment and then reteach. But as you get into more diverse classroom to where your principal's going to come in, you're really honestly going to have to specialize or hone in on those kids that are really low in this area, or maybe higher in this area, but not as high as your top students. Okay. A lot of information for one night. I know everybody's like, let's just get this over with. But I got to tell you, quite honestly, this is an opportunity to really share anything and kind of have a midweek check-in before we go to our another 2 weeks before we have our seminar. Is there anything else that you would like me to work on while to prepare for the next seminar above and beyond what you guys are currently doing that maybe we won't be touching on this seminar? I know we did lesson plans actually there as well. So that's why I just wanted to give you a couple of different activities that I use. How about you share now one thing that you think might help one of your group mates? Somebody came off mute. Amanda, that's you.
I actually have a question about the growth plans. Has anybody started theirs yet? And like, I don't even know what I'm supposed to be growing towards, or I don't know what to do on that. Okay.
Does anybody else want to provide any input, or do you want me to go ahead and just start?
I can.
Go ahead.
It's when Miss Redden comes to see you, she gives you your reflection that she does, and the things, you'll see it. I actually have my binder. It gives you on her observation and evaluation, it tells you things that you need to improve on. She wants you on your PPP to put that on there as to those are the things that I am working on.
Okay, that's what I did, but I actually have a different supervisor than the rest of the group for some reason. I'm with Miss Corin. She's only come once. But that's what I used because I went ahead and started working on it because they don't really check it, so I thought I could correct it later. But there was two things in particular that she told me that I needed to, work on for next time. So that's what I listed. I didn't know if that was right or not.
Now, you may have a PGP that she requires, but your school, now you're private, okay. If you're, LDOE requires a professional growth plan from every teacher actually in Compass, okay. So if you have not completed, not necessarily you, Amanda, but the other teachers, if you have not completed a professional growth plan yet, you will be doing so. You should be doing so. Ours is due tomorrow. Well, actually, our SLTs are due tomorrow. Our PGP is due in 2 weeks. And it actually has to be entered into Compass to LDOE. I can provide you, Amanda, a copy of my growth plan that I used in the past couple of years. I can give you one from this school. I can give you one from my other school as well. Our PGP, go ahead.
We just, I mean, like, because I'm, private Christian, we don't have to do anything like that. I mean, we are not required to do. Of course, even our lesson plans are completely different. I didn't even know where to find the state standards. They had to tell me. We just don't have to do any of that. So, any information that anybody has, if you want to email it to me, I would greatly appreciate it.
Absolutely. Okay, nobody else came off mute. The PGP is it's 2 goals. Okay. Now my school actually gives us 1 goal. We come up with our other goal. Our goal would be, for example, let's just use a general one. This is not one I would use, but to become my goal, my professional growth goal is to incorporate technology into every lesson, at least 2 lessons a day, and to gain additional knowledge on how to create notebook lessons or how to create smartboard lessons or PowerPoint lessons. That's my goal. Then you identify what your steps are going to be in order to attain that goal, such as to attend professional development courses 2 during the school year, to take an online class, especially when you're in college. It's easy because you guys are in your core courses. You could use your technology class if you're taking it during that time to meet that metric. So you can list whatever it is that you're going to do to meet the goal in which you've set for yourself. Our goal, one of our goals, is that we will have, oh gosh, well, this is my SLT, but our goal is for literacy, and we are going to develop our literacy program. I haven't written my PGP yet, but it's to that effect. So our school gives us 1 goal that's school-wide, and then we get 1 personal goal that we develop. And then if it, like for example, if I was in special ed, then I would make sure that all of my my goal related to any type of training that I would be able to accomplish in order to show that I've met that goal. Does that help? And if you guys want, I'll be more than happy to send to all of you, because I know I owe you from the last one. I was realizing that when I was here. I owe you my bathroom log. I owe you my some other log, and then now I owe you my PGP.
Way to be a slacker.
I know it. Well, I was sitting here, as I was sitting here getting my, cleaning up to get ready to leave, I thought, oh, I never sent them because I had to straighten up my bathroom log. I wish I could show you my classroom. It's kind of cute. But, I have a little log that kids signed out. And ironically, I was looking at it today and thought, I need to check out what this one kid's doing between 11 and 12, because the last 3 days he had consecutively checked out of my room for 2 to 3 times to go to the bathroom between 11 o'clock and 12 o'clock. And that's a trend that I wouldn't have looked at, but I was just cleaning that section, waiting to chit-chat with you all, and noticed that trend. So,
Hey, real quick, how important a bathroom log is? This is the 3rd time in 2 weeks I have had a girl in the 4th and 5th grade bathroom smear poop all over the stall. So today I made our principal check our cameras to see who's been going in the bathroom. But if everybody had a bathroom log, you would know who went to the restroom.
Absolutely. Wow, that's an unfortunate set of circumstances you've experienced. And it's quite a smelly one, too. Yeah, no, it's great. I mean, I'm telling you, and I'll just grab it real quick and then we'll get off. I know you're saying, Ms. Ross, stop! Because they have to sign out too, okay? So this says Office Pass. I bet you, it's upside down. Woo-hoo. But the other ones are actually ones that you can wash because you don't want to send them down to the bathroom with it. They're actually clips. So you can take a clothespin clip and you can stick it on their shirt. And that way you don't have to worry about them putting it down, washing their hands, it getting all wet, any germs that are on the sink. And when they come back, you take the clip off them. They don't do it. So for those boys that don't, or girls that don't wash their hands, they never touch my clip. Okay? And then, of course, it gets Germ-X'd each day. So that clip is cleaned. But I'm telling you, you know, really, and all you put on it is, I put up here where they're going, because this is actually a log if they leave my room at all. And I promise you I will send those, copy of that with you, and I will bombard your inbox with this. What was the other log that I owed you? Does anyone remember? No. I know you're just wrecking your brains. Okay. So I feel, to me, I'm so excited we're all on here now. And I think this was a really good, in my opinion, because I think, you know, I was so proud of what I did today, you know. But I think showing it, honestly, you guys have got so many different ideas, and just pulling everything together, having something to look at to say, okay, I can build from that, makes a big difference. So one last hello, goodbye, and we're out of here. Any last comments? Everybody has to unmute and say goodbye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. I'll miss you till the next seminar.
Bye.
And summer will get observed tomorrow.
Good luck for your observation, Lauren. Text us when it's done.
I will. All right. Bye.
Bye.
You hang up. I'm not hanging up till you hang up.